So this is how they sort of, like I said, how they match up. There's really no beginning level. The state hasn't decided yet with the new standards where the RFEP designation is going to be. Right now it's kind of at early advanced, maybe a little high intermediate, early advanced. So we don't know any of that yet. But like I said, right now we're just in a mismatch period where we've got old CELT with new standards. But the way that you use the standards is kind of the same. Just from what you know about your students, you can look at any standard, look at the 3 levels, and then figure out, okay, you know what, my students can already do, maybe something at the emerging level. So I don't need to pick the wording at the emerging level. If they can already do that, I need to scaffold up and pick the next one up. And that's just going to depend on what you know about your students. And that's basically how to use them. So they are aligned to the Common Core standards for English Language Arts, which are aligned to those reading and writing standards for science and social studies as well. So if you're math, we have math people? So if you're math, you make those, everybody has to just decide where to include the standards into their lessons anyway. So you can make those matches. And I've been working with our math student teachers on figuring out which ones actually make the most sense for math, because some of them don't. We don't expect math teachers to assess students on whether or not they're using adverbs correctly. Actually, we probably don't expect a lot of our teachers to do that. Let me see. So this is kind of to go back to this whole idea of if the Common Core standards is presenting the what. So in this one, I just took the grades 9 through 10 ELD standards, and they're broken out by the same grade levels that the Common Core are broken out by. So you have ELD standards for grade 9 and 10, and you have ELD standards for grades 11 and 12. So they're both the same. And when we show you how to get onto My Big Campus a little bit later, the PowerPoint is on My Big Campus also. So the let me see if I can do that laser. Woohoo! So if the Common Core, it's the little things that excite me. We don't have this technology on campus. You guys are so much more advanced than we are. So if the Common Core standard is identifying key ideas and details, then this is the what. So the what are you asking your students to do? You're asking them to determine the central idea or information of a primary source or text. The corresponding ELD standard, and the name of the standard is Reading, Viewing Closely, Explain Ideas and Processes and Relationships, tells you that if they're going to determine the central idea, then how are they going to do it? By a close reading of a variety of grade level text using a variety of detailed sentences, precise, nuanced, academic, and domain-specific words. So that's the how. Now, getting back to your question, well, how would you quantify that? Okay, well, maybe for, if I've got a rubric, then I'd ask for 2 detailed sentences. That would be like a number 2 on the rubric. A number 3 on the rubric would be 3 detailed sentences, 4 detailed sentences. The academic and domain-specific words, these are words that you've introduced. So these could be the vocabulary words that you've introduced in your lesson. So 3 sentences using 4 vocabulary words.